Hi guys, I'm Ali. I'm a freelance animator and illustrator for motion graphics, and I draw in my free time. For the past 2 years, I've been putting my drawings up on Instagram, and recently we reached over 100,000 followers. As a little celebration, I thought it would be fun if we did a bit of a Q&A. It would be a great chance for me to know what you guys are curious about, whether it's me or about art in general. And I figured I've been on social media for about 2 years now, and not many people know anything about me. So in this video, I picked some of the most asked questions and try to answer them as best I could. If you have any other questions after the video, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer or make another video about it. The drawing in the background is a collaboration I did with Huon, where they sent me a tablet and I got a chance to make this piece for them. So I hope you guys enjoy. So one of the most asked questions was, do you think traditional artists can be digital artists as well? My straightforward answer to that is yes. I think whether you're traditional going to digital or digital going to traditional, both are very achievable. If you are considering to switch from traditional to digital, there are some things to consider. One of them is if you will be using a normal tablet with no screen or a tablet with a screen. I started out with a no-screen tablet. It took me so long to get used to it, and honestly, it never felt quite natural. So fast forward a couple years, in 2019, I got my iPad. It was super portable, and being able to draw right on the screen made me feel a lot more comfortable using the tool. Another thing to consider too is that even if your tablet has a screen, the screen is very smooth. I didn't notice while I was drawing, but after a while, my wrist started having problems because I was having to control my pen so much from the smooth screen. So I would also think about investing in a nice screen protector with some texture. I'll link the one I'm using down below because I think it really helped me with my wrist problem, and paper texture just made it feel a lot more natural. But no matter what medium, art is always going to be a struggle of wanting to get better. It would be the same with any medium. If I was an oil painter trying out watercolor for the first time, even though both are traditional mediums, I would still face struggle trying to adjust to the new tools. So my best tip for if you're trying to transition into digital, it would be to practice as much as you can. I didn't see any improvement in my own work until I started drawing every day, which was my reason to start Instagram in the first place, to keep myself accountable and to draw every single day. So how do you get an art style? I feel like a lot of artists kind of stress too much on finding a style as opposed to finding things you like about art itself. For me, the way I found my style was through mimicking and learning from artists that I like. I know a lot of people look down on copying or mimicking, but I feel like as long as it's for educational purposes and you're not trying to plagiarize or make profit from another artist's work, it's totally acceptable, and I'm sure most artists are going to be okay with that. But just make sure it's for educational purposes. Along with that tip, I think it's also important to say that you should be trying to mimic or learn from different artists, not just one. The problem with looking up to only one or two artists is that your style is going to begin to look very similar to them, and that won't necessarily be your style. I've been down that road before where I accidentally get too close to looking like someone else's style. And that's the thing, it'll just be your copy of their style. So my tip for that is to kind of spread out what you're taking from different artists. Figure out what it is exactly that you like about certain artists and then bring it into your own work. And always pull from multiple people. The next biggest tip for this question is, again, to draw a lot. It's really cliche, but there's no other way around it. Even if you draw for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day, trust me, over time it will make a huge difference. And of course, the more time you put into it, the more you're gonna get out of it. Just make sure to get enough rest for your hand as well. If you're overworking your hand, that's just gonna become a whole nother problem. Is it hard to keep a consistent style? This is a tough question because I find that my style does change a lot in a very short amount of time as well. So in a sense, it is a bit hard to keep a consistent style, but at the same time, I think it's really inevitable to keep your style the same all the time. as we grow and have new experiences and learn new things through each drawing, you're going to be bringing in a lot of new techniques into your new drawing. And I really used to look down at my art because it kept changing styles so quick. Now looking back, I understand that that was just me trying to find my art voice. So don't feel bad if you can't keep a consistent style. I think as long as you keep drawing in a way that makes you happy, that's honestly the most you can get out of your art. So the next question asked, I was wondering if you ever went to art school or majored in art. If so, was it worth it? So yes, I went to a private art school for college and majored in animation. There's a lot of pros and cons with this. I personally still am very neutral about the whole situation. I think everything worked out for the best, for me at least, so I honestly don't have any complaints, but I'll just tell you guys the pros and cons. The pros are, I think being in college and being surrounded by people who are like-minded and have similar goals is a great way to grow faster. It does help with the motivation as well, because if you see your friends do amazing things, you get inspired as well. Another pro is that most of the professors working there or even the students are either all in the industry already or will be entering the industry with you. And having those connections are super important because most of the time, this is how you're gonna get your first job. Now, the pros are that for me personally, I felt like aside from one or two amazing professors who made a huge difference in my life, I think that I could have gotten all the education from just the internet. Considering how much private art schools cost, I felt like I was kind of taken advantage of. This is still a very gray area for me because I have very mixed feelings. Sure, I could have learned everything online, but I think the rate at which I would have learned would have been a lot slower. So in my final opinion, I don't think art school is necessary to get a job in the industry or learn the things you need to learn, but I do think it's a fast-tracked way to get to the career you want. How to keep motivated. A lot of times people focus on drawing and the art itself, and people don't really pay enough attention to how they're feeling. Some things that keep me motivated is keeping a folder on my phone or on my computer or wherever I keep my photos. I have a folder with my favorite artworks in them. The reason I do this is not to compare myself or to put myself down, but it's more of an inspiration of everything I want to become. And when I'm having a slump day or not feeling the best, I like to open up this folder, go through it slowly, and kind of remember why it is that I liked each photo. As long as I'm not forcing myself to get inspired, I find that this works for me very well. Also, staying motivated is very tricky. To remain motivated at something, it means you have to know what you want and what your goal is. So maybe if your motivation falls short, it might be time to really analyze what it is that you're wanting. Once you figure out what you want, it's a lot easier to figure out how to get there. So when you're feeling that way, it might be a good time to step back and create a new game plan. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. And if you guys have any more questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And also let me know what other types of videos you guys want to see. So until next time, stay safe and keep drawing. Bye!